We are finally ready to talk about some Lima Senior Hoops. Here with Coach Q. Coach, I know you guys had a couple scrimmages under your belt. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing from your team right now.
You know, these scrimmages that we have, just evaluations. We try to give all our guys an enormous amount of playing time. We try to play guys equally. We try different lineups. You know, right now what we're trying to do is find, 5 guys that play good together for our continuity, for chemistry. With only having, 5 or 6 practices at this point, we're trying to see, number one, who can remember what we've put in. Number 2, who's going to give effort. And number 3, who can make the right basketball play. So at this point, we've had some hot and cold sessions, but we are making some strides and getting better.
What are you seeing at this point, sort of the strengths that you have in this team and sort of the weaknesses and things that you really need to work on before the season really gets going? What are you seeing?
I think the strengths we have is shooting. We got guys that can make shots. We hadn't shot the ball well in either scrimmage, but we're confident and we have guys that can make shots. I think right now we need to attack the basket more, play the game inside out. Other defensive aspects of the game, we need to have more ball pressure. We need to know where we are defensively when our man doesn't have the ball. And those things will come. We got to continue to work on those things in practice. Like I said, we had 2 quick scrimmages, so we kind of had to jump into some 5-on-5 things with our practices on both sides of the ball early. Now, the next few days, we can kind of slow things down, do things from a 2-on-2, a 3-on-3, a 4-on-4 defensive perspective, and kind of slow it down so they can understand better.
Talk a little bit about some individual guys. I mean, who are the guys that you are going to need to step up this year for this team to be?
Obviously we got a good senior group. We got 3 seniors. All of them have varsity experience. Jalil King is an all-conference kid. We're definitely going to look and lean to him to kind of lead on the floor, off the floor. Greg Johnson is kind of a quiet leader. He had a pretty good year last year. And then Amir Curtis is probably our best on-the-ball defender, tough, hard-nosed. We also have a good junior group with Jadakiss Mack. He's returning from last year. And we also have 2 other good juniors, Jameer Simpson and Josiah Fulcher, who also can play the game at a high level. So we have some talent. We got some really good freshmen. Those guys, it'll take those guys a while to get caught up to the varsity level, the varsity speed, the varsity strength. But at this point, they fit in extremely well. So at the end of the day, it's up to us coaches to put it together. And I think right now, even though it's early, I'm sure the community wants to see things happen immediately. We don't believe in the microwave syndrome. We believe in the oven. We let it bake, we let it cook, and then we have a plan in the end.
You talked about your coaching staff. I know you have some new guys on your staff. Talk about your staff this year.
We lost Brock Howe. That was a tremendous loss for us. Him and I still communicate regularly. We added Greg Simpson, obviously, the best player to ever, come out of Lima, one of the best ever to come out of the state of Ohio. So his intelligence, his knowledge, and his energy of the game, has somewhat been very, very good for our kids. Zach Rumball is now my assistant, and he's done a fantastic job up until this point. And then we have Corey Wilson, who was my freshman coach last year. He's now the junior varsity coach, and Greg is coaching the freshmen. Collectively, we all make decisions that's best for the program. We don't get into the me syndrome. It's we. No big eyes or little U's. Collectively, we just all want the best and try to put the kids in the best situation to be successful.
What's your schedule looking like this year? Especially look at the track. Who's the team to beat in the track this year?
The track is good this year. On paper, I'd probably say Whitmer. They have they have a really good senior group, a lot of returning seniors, and they have a real smart, heady point guard. Toledo St. Francis will be extremely tough as well. Findlay will be Findlay. They'll be well coached. They'll run their sets. They have guys that can make shots. Those 3, in my opinion, will be at the top. I believe we can play with those guys, but it's definitely going to take some continuity. It's going to take some effort defensively. But on paper, those 3 for sure.